Hey, what's up? We're in the next part here. I was talking about the thorny ground. The cares of this world take these people away like a tsunami. Another example, I gave an example about the former friend that I have that I became fast friends with because we were both Christian, but I thought she was Christian, but she was just religious, whereas I was truly saved. And she ended up putting witchcraft on me, but I wasn't her only victim, right? Another example would be like all these, I don't know how many of them I dealt with when I was working at MTN. All of these men and women that are doing well. They're doing well in their careers. They have gathered for themselves much, you know. By Sonta, however, on Sundays, they've got 9 to 5s. They've got very prosperous outward lives, like social lives that are enviable, essentially. Labantu Laba, they are by far the greatest proliferators of the health, wealth, and prosperity gospel. They don't see any real need for true piety, true godliness, and true humility. They use the name of God as a means for financial gain. Not only that, but they also use the name of God to justify or substantiate their godliness because of their financial strength. People who are wealthy, and because they are wealthy, they subscribe to the health, wealth, and prosperity movement. Even though the health, wealth, and prosperity movement or gospel, which is not really a gospel at all, so it's anathema, did not contribute to their growth as Christians. It's not like they sowed to Creflo Dollar's ministry and so got their promotion. These are people who went to varsity, studied, graduated, worked like a dog in corporate, and so reaped promotion. They just worked hard and got to where they got, and one day decided that they want to do Christianity. And upon doing Christianity, then said, I'm highly blessed and favored, I'm an executive because God did it. They are not truly godly, but they've got much in this world and they desire to be viewed as godly, and so they go and they link their prosperity to God. And it's not really truly because they are godly that they have this prosperity. They have it because they worked hard and they got to where they got, but they don't understand the gospel, and so they are proliferating anathema. They don't get that God can abound a person, can bring them low. They absolutely reject that a Christian should suffer, and they use themselves as an example for why it is that this is not true. Look at my life. I gave myself to Christ, and all he's done is just prosper me and prosper me and prosper me. Some of them go so far as to start little networking circles inside the church, like a little secret society within the church, where banalim, like a LinkedIn. Thank you. Like imagine having a LinkedIn inside church, like for professionals inside the church, like a little breakaway inside the church for professionals, for businessmen and women in the church. And we are going to help each other push each other's agendas. We are going to help each other get tenders because we need to proliferate the kingdom of heaven. These people are unbiblical in the way they do Christianity because they vehemently reject that a Christian should suffer or struggle when the Lord has made it clear that if anybody wants to live a life in Christ, they will suffer persecution. There are very poverty-stricken Christians out there, and if you are among the poverty-stricken and you want to try and join the little LinkedIn within the church circle of networking professionals as a suffering saint, you know, to get in with them because you don't want to suffer anymore, they will likely look at you with a classism on some, what do you do? What are your credentials? Where did you go to school? What did you study? Oh, you just have a matric. Oh, you're a call center agent. Oh, no, but this is just for professionals within the church. This is just for, you know, the guys that have cracked it, you know, the tenderpreneur. So, yeah, just grow a little bit and then you can come and join our little secret society within the church. I attended a fellowship of women like this when I was still at Rima. I was yet to be thoroughly convicted of random foolish activity in the church, so I did not walk out steaming with my feet like musi jigas tututu. However, I found the women there exceptionally peacocky. There was no humility basically, and it was frustrating for me. There was no calmness. I remember the women, I had to buy a ticket first of all to be there, so I couldn't just be there. Problem number one. Like any church event activity should not charge anybody anything, just number one. But I bought a ticket because, you know, I was yet to be truly edified in Christ as to what makes sense here in the church. I bought a ticket, and because I bought a ticket, I was assigned a chair hair, and my name had, like, you know, it was written there in all different kinds of lovely font, and there was like, it was mine. I felt special, like a guest at a wedding with my name on my name card, you know. And I got this round table with way too much cutlery than I know how to use, and way too many cups and saucers than I know how to eat out of. But anyway, it was all there, and I was supposed to just know what spoon to use where. Okay, cool beans and bananas. And I sat down next to a whole bunch of ladies around me. It was a women's conference, right? I was with a whole bunch of females around me, and when I arrived, I'm never early, so I of course found others seated already. I was like, hi. I'm Cravo. All excited that I'm with sisters, because when I got saved I was super excited for Christ and I expected everybody to be similarly jolty. And these women were like, hi, you know, banana, you clappy handshake. Hi. And you get like, oh my goodness, what are you, like a bobblehead in a car? Come on, be firm. I was met with, you know, the highlights, it's a handshake and a flat, and just a whole bunch of attitude. And I was, the whole thing lasted 2 hours in total, where there were a whole bunch of speakers in front the entire time. For the life of me, it was so awkward in the breaks because I could not fellowship with anyone. I couldn't talk with anyone. I went alone for any amount of time. I should have taken a friend, because that might have helped, right? For any amount of time, I could not fellowship with any of these ladies on my left and on my right, comfortable, easy, because they were so cocky. They were so, you know, like head in the neck in the sky, and peacock, and like just hard to talk with. And they were maintaining themselves in this uppity state because they were actively sussing out the room for who here is better than me. And that is not a spirit of Christians. I left there very exhausted and drained. I wanted to leave early, but I just like wrote it out because there was like a gift pack at the end, like a little bit of a fruit basket. I want my fruit basket, so I stuck around for my fruit basket, but I wanted to leave early, and I spent money to be there. It was something like 1,200. I spent money, and over and above that 1,200 that I paid for that chair, they still were collecting money. Give, God will give, and He will give unto you, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. And the whole conference was about helping Christian women start businesses and this and that. And this woman was telling us, the main one there, the main chair, she was explaining to us, she basically, the whole day was spent with her describing her elaborate life to us, how it is that God, you know, basically her whole testimony was how God gave her everything, her wildest dreams, how she had a house in Cape Town and another one in Johannesburg and another one in Pretoria, and her children, all this and guys, like she was just telling us about herself. And apparently this is what God did for her. These are the guys on thorny ground. Like the things of the world just take them away like a tsunami. No real love, no real fellowship, and no real acknowledgement of the suffering in the church, and no real recognition of the fact that the church can suffer, and so therefore appropriately deal with it doctrinally in a way that's going to comfort the suffering, that the suffering amidst the church should not feel out of place in the presence of the bountifully blessed materially in the church. Like there should not be a division or a gulf separating rich Christians versus poor ones. A poverty-stricken Christian should not struggle to be in the presence of a wealthy Christian because of how they talk. There should just be a flat-out humility across us all, that you would not even know that you're dealing with a little bit of an Oppenheimer in the church. When you meet them, their humility should shock you when you realize they live in a mansion. And I was dealing with little mini Oppenheimers, and I knew it was Oppenheimer. I was like, oh, but hey, I wanted my fruit basket, so I stuck around to the end. Next part.